Ariel Helwani for mmarated.com at the Strikeforce weigh-ins in San Jose, and I'm being joined by Ken Pavia. And Ken, a little bit of controversy today, or I guess some newsworthy items to come out of the weigh-in. Most notably, your client Joe Riggs not being approved by the California State Athletic Commission to compete in tomorrow night's card. What exactly happened?
That's accurate. Joe filled out his medical questionnaire, which is the way things are handled here in California. Was asked to disclose any medication that he was taking over the counter or prescription. As a precautionary measure, he disclosed everything that he had consumed, including a prescription painkiller that he had a prescription for that he took 3 days ago. We weren't sure if it would show up in the system, but we were asked to disclose, so we in fact did. And because it was a narcotic, the commission decided to not let him fight.
Now, why did he decide to take this prescription drug 3 days before a bout when he knew that it could have caused some problems, if he would test positive for it?
I think a number of professional athletes, because of the daily grind they go through, have a lot of aches and pains. They're perpetual, chronic pain. So Joe was suffering from some training injuries, unrelated to his previous injuries. He took a prescription drug, and he had taken the same drug in preparation for the Diego Sanchez bout. He had a prescription for it, disclosed it, tested positive for it, I'm told. I was not his agent at the time, and was cleared because he had at least disclosed it. So as a precautionary measure, he disclosed it again this time, but he was not allowed to compete.
Now that fight, I believe, was in San Diego, right? That was in California. Obviously, it's the same commission. So why would this time they let him, or last time they let him fight, and they put him off scot-free, and now there's an issue?
I don't have the answer to that. I wasn't his agent at the time, so I don't have the specifics. I can only tell you it was articulated to me, but I definitively can't answer. The commission was newer. They're a little more thorough perhaps now. I don't really know, to answer your question.
All right, so now what happens, or do you have someone that is going to replace Joe? Are they going to for another one of your clients, or is Luke Stewart just not going to fight tomorrow? We're
presently in negotiations for a very good replacement, somebody that would, Joe Riggs is a big name, and he's very well known in the community, but the kid's a prospect, and if he takes the fight, if we can make the numbers work, I think it would be a very entertaining fight. Obviously, we're very disappointed for Joe, and we're pursuing all avenues right now in terms of alternative bouts and opportunities for him. Joe counted on this, trained for it for an extensive period of time. Although it wasn't disclosed, he did have a fight on this card for quite some time, so he's had quite a bit of preparation time and counted on this to feed his family and support his family, so we're very disappointed. But we are pursuing other opportunities for Joe right now.
Do you know any names? Could you share any names with us as who would replace Joe tomorrow?
I don't want to jump the gun. We'll know shortly. Undefeated prospect, though. Not presently in my roster, but someone we've had extensive dialogue with, and he wants to be, so hopefully we can make it happen. I just don't want to jump the gun before it's actually consummated.
All right, well, while I have you here, I just want to ask you a couple of other questions, as you know I like to do. A client of yours, Brett Rogers, his name is always in the news lately after calling out Kimbo Slice. Have you any information as to whether or not he will officially be fighting Kimbo on the 3rd CBS show in October? It's
not official yet. We have had extensive dialogue. Offers have been made. We're, again, in the negotiating process. I believe that Pro Elite's been very gracious in their offers, and we've taken them to our committee, Brett, his trainer, myself. We're discussing the viable possibilities. They've been generous, I believe, and we're, in the course of negotiation, counter-offering. I think that the fight is a fight that the fans want to see. The timing is good for it right now. Both fighters are on a win streak. Public wants to see it, so I think the timing is perfect right now. We're looking at a potential October date, and I think more likely than not it's going to happen, but it's not formal and it's not official yet.
Another one of your clients, Phil Baroni, making his welterweight debut for the Cage Rage promotion. Why did he decide to move down to welterweight?
I think Phil Baroni's always been fighting outside his weight class. He's always been a very muscular, very physical guy, and 185 was a weight that he actually had to maintain. When he was in shape, he was in shape he really fought to keep it close to 200. He had to eat 6 times a day, very, very large meals, and he did a little bit of bodybuilding, which sometimes affects your cardio and can have adverse effects in a fight. Instead of struggling to keep that weight on now, he's increasing his cardio, eating like a normal human being, and cutting up. And he's been walking around in under 185 in preparation for this fight. We don't see making 170 as being difficult at all, and he's kicking himself, quite frankly, because he said, geez, all these years I fought the very best at 185, And I'm not even a 185 guy. And Lindland told him that after the second Lindland fight. He says, Phil's one of the toughest guys I ever faced, but he's a 170 guy, beefed up. So I think you'll see Phil with the same muscle mass you've always seen him with, or comparable, but less body fat and really shredded. I mean, he looks great right now. He's going to be very dehydrated. It'll be a tough cut, but he'll be okay. And I think you'll see big things from Phil at 170. One thing Phil says to me time and time again is there's a lot of guys with one-and-done power at 85. There's the Lawlers and the list goes on. He's the first one that came to mind. There's a lot of guys at 55, but how many are there at 70? Not very many at all. And Phil has one-and-done power, and I think he'll be a force at 170.
All right, so I always like the scoops. Any other news to report of upcoming fights for your clients?
I think we're going to see big things on the 19th of July. I've got 6 guys on the UFC card, and one is soon to be hopefully 2 on the Affliction card. Mike Pyle's on there currently, so it's a big weekend for us. But we have guys fighting so far confirmed all the next 6 weekends. I'll be on the road. Nothing new that's not on our website already, MMAagents.com. As soon as we consummate a deal, we put it up there immediately, and I don't believe there's anything that's in transition unless we get the Luke Stewart replacement.
You said you might have 2 guys fighting on the Affliction card. Who would be the second?
The story's been broken already. There's been inquiries at a replacement for Vernon White, who went down. He's not going to be fighting on the Affliction card, so they've inquired about Edwin Deweese and as a possible replacement. So we're working a couple different things out. Possibility. Love to have him on that card. It'd be against Nogueira, a very, very tough fight. Little Nogueira. But besides that, no other scoops.
All right, well, Ken Pavia, always gracious with his time. Thanks a lot, man.
My pleasure. Thank you.